Hi, everybody. I know it's about 8 o'clock here. I'm going to let this play just a little bit longer. This is the final call for June 29th, Saturday, this Saturday at Aquatic Park. It's looking good, favorable conditions. I'm going to go over those in a second. These pictures here from May 25th, first one of the season. Went super well. We have like 33 kids, swimmers swimming. Couple parents. Water safety was amazing. The best one yet by far. Parents were super attentive, paying attention to everybody in the water the whole time, communicating with each other. We were able to split up and do a separate group, going the full buoy line and leaving less experienced swimmers back at the one buoy out and back. I got to witness somebody get a cramp and was able to be assisted to closer to the shore so you could get out. And we still had another paddler with the group. So that worked out super well. I think we had about 5 people in the water. One thing I just saw there, I saw a little girl with a wetsuit that did not fit correctly. Please make sure that you have a well-fitting wetsuit. That one's a good fitting wetsuit there. All of these are good. This one is not. Right here, this wetsuit does not fit, and it will not be a great experience if it doesn't fit. So make sure your wetsuit is tight. Okay, let's jump into it. So final call for June 29th, Saturday, Aquatic Park. Please check your team's websites if you have any job signups. Here's ours. We're now charging $10 per swimmer. And sorry, I'm not going to do that. Wetsuits, I just spoke about that. Size charts are all over the internet. You can use these to get close, but always try on the wetsuit. Don't leave it to chance. So you should know if it fits tightly before you get there. I'll have my collection of wetsuits there, so hopefully we can get everybody into something that works. Wetsuit catalog. This is linked in the description as well. If you need one or you know somebody that needs one that wants to try, send them here, put your name on it, and you can get it on the day of. Again, here's our map. We're going to set up down here again on the north end. We entertained the south end, but I think the north end is all around the better place. It has less wind. All of this over here is a hill and a lot of big buildings, so it's a natural windbreak. And right now, most of the wind is coming out of the west or southwest. And we'll look at that in a second. Let me go back here. So Aquatic Park, Van Ness is where you want to park down here. There's a lot of parking here. Make sure you're not in a national park volunteer spot. And I believe there's some other spots here that are, no, I think they're national park. Otherwise, there's a lot of parking up and down here. That was the other drawback of the south end, because all of these streets down here it's crowded. You have all the swimmers coming to these clubs, and parking's more like city parking on the street, and that's not great. So we like this end. This works really well. Get there early for good parking. The earlier you are, the better chance that you'll get something close by. I highly recommend that. I know there have been some break-ins all over the place, right? It's known, the whole city is known for car break-ins, so it feels nice to have your car as close as you can. I always check the alerts for the park. We're in a national park. Remember, let's respect the park. Take all of our trash in and out. We have to abide by the rules. No drones. That's always a federal law. No drones in parks. Okay, so there's nothing. There's no alerts here for the park. Water quality is green. All these green dots. That means that it's clean, or they don't collect if it's white, I believe. But we got a green one here up at Aquatic Park. Here, Aquatic Park. Water quality meets state California bacteria standards for water contact recreation. I've never seen a bad water quality here. I think gets a lot of flush from the tide, so I would imagine it's usually pretty good. Winds coming out of the south southwest. Again, when you look at Aquatic Park, this is kind of getting blocked on the north end, where the end of this humongous pointer is. Another reason to be on the north end. South end, it opens up and it kind of whips through there. So ideal to be on the north end. I like this page. It's the Dolphin Club. That's one of the clubs on the south end. You can advance these days and see what your tide is going to be on your day of your swim. Right at 9 o'clock, we'll be falling. Tide's going to be going down quite a bit, from 3 to like 1 foot, one foot at 11 o'clock. So there's quite a bit of motion. The water is going out of the bay this way. This is the Golden Gate Bridge here. So current will be going from here this way out of the bay, which is the opposite of what we had last time, and the current was going the other way. Just something to keep in mind. It's not a huge current, but you can notice it if you stop and look at the shoreline. And we had some of our swimmers do that last time. What else on this? Water temps. So falling tide. Know which way direction the current's going, and it'll be pretty shallow by the time we finish. Okay. Weather. It's saying kind of partly cloudy, but overnight, so it might be a little bit splotchy, cloudy, or foggy in the morning. But I think it's going to be sunny. Good temperature. If the sun's out, it should be really quite warm. Weather is, I mean, the water temp is already reaching towards 60 during the day when the sun comes up, warms up the water. Otherwise, it's kind of expect mid 50s, which is warmer than it was in May for sure. So let's be thankful. It's always nice not to get an ice cream headache right away from the cold water. I don't really use this, but I just linked it. It's real-time fog data. My favorite thing to do is just to look at webcams. So you can see we got zero fog in the bay right now. This morning I checked and it was just hovering at the bridge. So at Aquatic Park this morning, it was nice and sunny. And I imagine it's going to be like that on Saturday as well. So these are linked as well. You can always check those to see if it's cloudy. You can also see if it's super windy or whatnot. I always link to this. I love this page. It's got tons of information about the tides, written by people who have spent a lifetime in the bay there. So really interesting stuff. I highly recommend learning as much as you can if you're interested in open water swimming. Knowing is number one. Knowing what you're getting yourself into, what you can expect, and the more data you gather and the more information you gather, the better decisions that you can make getting into the water anywhere. Doesn't matter what kind of water it is. Okay, I've got a couple reminders. Here's our schedule. It keeps developing. Open water swimming doesn't super play nicely with pool swimming as of right now. So a lot of the coaches are just tied up in swim meets all summer. So we do our best to have somebody, a coach, at these trainings. One thing that got added is the swim at Donner Lake with Northern Nevada Aquatics. I'm going to go there. If anybody vacations in Tahoe, and I know a lot of people do, that might be something that you want to try and check out and swim with some other kids from other clubs. Another one that we're keeping our eye on as the kind of season closers, Western Zone Open Water Champs. Maybe everybody can hit this website and send a message that we want the info. Still to come. We have spoken with Michael here and are emailed, and it's coming soon. We hope to get a good group of kids from this area and the kids that we've all been training with at Aquatic Park to go down to San Diego and race in this open water race for USA Swimming for Western Zones. Really cool opportunity. Water is going to be like 72 down in San Diego in September, so no wetsuits. It'll be a real treat to see our kids that train in this cold water in wetsuits shed those things and then really get after a swim and feel confident and comfortable. So that is it. This is a green light for Saturday, and I'll see you on Saturday.